Poultry feeding involves providing a balanced, nutritionally complete diet to domestic birds like chicken and ducks using commercial feeds. Key aspect involves supplying the correct balance of carbohydrates, fats, proteins, vitamins, minerals, ensuring adequate feeder and drinker space for all birds, and implementing feeding schedules, often in the early morning, to support growth and production. Today, we take you to Wakiso Farm Supply in Wakiso District to find out how feeding process is done. Kamashengelo Christine is one of the founders.
I'm called Kamashengelo Christine, co-founder Wakiso Farm Supplies. Yeah, this is Wakiso Farm Supplies located in Wakiso town, along Bukasa Road, just 2 kilometers from Wakiso town. Yes, we do deal in poultry, we supply the old chicks, we supply fertilized eggs, we supply 1 month old, and we supply even old birds. Yeah, now for the feeding, first of all, it will depend on the target market of the farmer. Now, for example, for the farmer that is feeding birds for meat is not the same for eggs. So they have different mixtures and even different feeding program of eggs. There is a feeding program of eggs and a feeding program of meat. But first of all, when the chicks are day old, you start with what we call starter pellet. There is a pre-starter and the starter pellet. So you can either go in with the pre-starter, that is from 0 to 8 days. Then from 0 to 8, then from 8 days you can go on with the starter. Yes, starter can go from 8 days up to like 14 days. For the pre-starter, we mainly use the pellet formed feeds. Yes, they are formulated with the machine, and we got those small crumbs, small parts of the feeds. Now, how they do this feeding, they mix these usual feeds, but then they make it in a pelleted form, so that it is very easy for the old chick to consume it wholly. Because now when the birds are consuming the feeds, there are these particles that remain on the feeder. So these particles mainly are those that have the most nutrients the chick should take. So because those nutrients remain on the feeders, that is why we came up with this of doing pellet form, so that when a feed is taken, it is taken whole. The chick can take all the thing. It is like in a rice form. Yeah, so when it is taking, it takes the whole particle, no, without leaving anything behind. So that is a pellet form. That is the starter I'm talking about. That is the pre-starter I'm talking about. Then the difference is from the size. The pre-starter is much smaller than the starter, but they are all in a pelleted form or in crumbles. Yes, yeah, they are in crumbles, but the size is different. Yes, the pre-starter is somehow smaller, and then the starter is something bigger than the pre-starter. The cage you can find it at 3,000, so it becomes very expensive for the farmer to feed to use these feeds up to 1 month. So that is why we always recommend them to feed them at least for 1 to 2 weeks. Yes, because those chicks, those small chicks have already gotten those nutrients, the foreign nutrients that are in those pelleted feeds. Then after 2 weeks, you go on with mashed feeds, or you go on with we mix the different ingredients to make some feed for the birds. Now these are the ingredients we mix. Now this is where we are going to differentiate whether you're taking for meat or you're taking for eggs. Now when you're taking for meat, you have to mix these 3 things. You mix concentrate, you mix maize bran, and maize broken. Now, farmers have a tendency of saying, no, for me, I will not use the brand because I've used the broken. It will depend on which concentrate you have used. Because some of the concentrate, they give you a mixing ratios, or how you should mix those ingredients. So some of the concentrate, they say you should put brand, some they say you should not put brand. But when you find a farmer, he has taken a concentrate, let's say a concentrate is recommending to put broken and brand, but the farmer is putting only broken. But I think farmers think that they are the same nutrients in the broken and the brand, but it is different. Because a brand is the whole, a brand is the outer part of the maize, and a broken is the whole maize. Just we break it into smaller pieces, so the nutrients cannot be the same. Yeah, so for the meat we mix broken, we mix brand, and we mix concentrate. But then it depends on which concentrate you have used, and even the mixing ratios is provided by that concentrate you have used. Because, for example, at the farm we use Hendrix. I mean, not be had like I'm advertising some company, but that is actually that is the best so far when we are dealing with these breeds. Because as I told you, we are the breeders.
For layers, feeds are quite different. These feed on different types of feeds with varying amounts of nutrients at different stages of their lives to meet their nutritional requirements for growth and egg production.
Now, for the eggs, we always mix 6 things. And this is a concentrate. We mix brand, we mix maize broken, we mix soya, sunflower, and lime. Yes, those are 6 things. This is because when you're dealing with the breeds that are going to lay, let's say, for example, layers, those birds, they don't need fats. They don't need fats, because when they have fats, they will not be able to lay. Those fats will close the placenta, so that they don't be able to produce the eggs. Now we add lime and sunflower to just minimize the fats. Yes, to minimize the fats. That is why we add those things in the birds that are going to lay, so that they don't grow with very many fats. They don't accumulate very many fats that will make them unable to lay. But
in feeding poultry, measurement of feeds is very crucial, and it varies with age of the birds, as Kamashingiro explains.
The farmers should know how to feed their birds, because when you're dealing with the meat birds, let's say, for example, broilers or maybe broilers, but you want them for meat, you should give them feeds. You should feed them in ad-lib. They should have feeds 24/7. I may not say like 24/7, especially for the broilers, because for the broilers they'll be a long time they'll be in a long time at the farm. For example, you can get them and you'll be selling them like at 4 months. So you may not need to feed them 24/7, but you should give them feeds at least up to 2 months. Then after 2 months, you can start measuring for them. You measure for them, but then you give them feeds that are in high amounts, so that they eat very well and get that meat that you want. Now for the eggs, we have to measure the feeds. Some of the farmers, you give them layers, and then when they take them, they start feeding them now and then, evening, morning, afternoon. The birds are eating. It means they will not lay, because you are feeding them poorly. Yes, now for the eggs, you have to measure for them. Now when a day-old chick comes at the farm, when it is a layer, it will start with 20 grams per day. Yes, 20 grams per day. It is the measurement you have to start with. Though you cannot measure for them when they are at day old. You just put, but then they take what they are supposed to take. They take that 20 grams. So when you want to know the kilograms, you do 20 grams times the number of birds you have, then you divide by 1,000 from grams to kilograms. Now, for the first week they take 20 grams, but you keep on adding 5 grams per week. Yes, when this week take 20, the next week they take 25, 30, 35, like that. You keep on adding 5 grams per week. Then when it comes to 120 or 125, you keep it constant. You don't add again. You keep at that. So farmers have a tendency, you tell them you have to measure the feed, and he or she will be like, how will I measure? Do I need to get a weighing scale? Yes, you have to get a weighing scale, because you have to get, you want to get eggs from your birds. But if you say, no, for me I will use a bucket, I will use this bucket, then next time I will use another bucket, you are not measuring for them. You're just giving them, which will affect your production. So you have to measure feeds. Yes, now some of the farmers have a tendency, now I have given them in the morning, but now in the evening quarter, they are just there. Should I give them? No, you should not give them. But if you want, well, if you're giving them like 10 kilograms in a day, you can divide. You decide to give them 5 in the morning and 5 in the evening. But then there, you're just making your workers or you yourself tired.
Feed storage is very important in poultry. Proper poultry feed storage is vital for food safety.
Mostly the common mistakes, first of all, is the poor storage of the feeds. Yes, when you go and get the feeds from the store, there is this, you just put a timber, you make something like a ladder. You can put your feeds on top of that ladder, so that you don't put them down at the floor. On the cement, you don't put them down on the floor. And secondly, you should keep the feeds in a cool, dry place. Yes, don't keep them in the refrigerator, then you come and give the birds. Or don't keep them near the fire where you're cooking from, and you come and give the birds. So you should keep them in a cool, dry place. Then there are some farmers who grow their own maize. Yes, growing their maize is very okay and it is very good. But then how have you kept that maize? Some of the farmers, they keep maize, it becomes spoiled. There is these gund that have got them, but then they even again give them the birds, which is very wrong. So I recommend, if you have grown your own maize, go look for someone with a store, a feed store. Give him or her that maize. And now for you, you can go there and you get from that maize. It may not be yours there, but even if he sells it or she sells it, she will give you what is available. Yes, but then you do what? You calculate what you get from your farm or your garden. You take it to him. You say, I have my 1,000 kgs of maize. Then let him or her sell them. Then for you, you go there and get maize at your own convenience.
In feeding poultry, it's important to consider feeding birds on balanced diet. This provides essential nutrients like proteins, vitamins, minerals, water to support growth, egg production, and overall health.
The balanced diet comes from how we have mixed. Yes, because as I told you, we mix for them 6 ingredients. So meaning, and many of, because long time ago we are using feeds like, and we mix like cotton, we mix bread, we mix silverfish, but those things were put in a concentrate. Yes, that is why we now use a concentrate. But though some farmers, they still use those things like cotton, like bread, like silverfish, simani, things were very many. But when you're using, when we are in an era of concentrate, then concentrate is better than those things, because all those things were contained in a concentrate. Yeah, that is why we no longer use them. Though we have to go with the manufacturer's prescription. What they have told us to mix is the one we should mix. If they have told us to put 10 kgs in a 50 kgs of concentrate, that is what we should do. But for the farmers, they have to look a concentrate that is a bit cheap after mixing all those ingredients. Because there is a concentrate, you may find that after mixing, a kg is at 3,000, but there is another concentrate like after mixing, it depends on the ratios they have given you to mix. Yes, now because now, for example, for the Hendrix we use, we are meant to put more more brand than broken, and in the market, broken is expensive than brand. So that is how we get the feeds after mixing. You find that the feed is at a low price. Farmers also do that. They do even add simon cassava peelings, they add banana peelings, but it reduces the production. This is because the birds are supposed to get, for example, maize. Maize has protein, but when you add cassava, even cassava has protein. When you add banana peeling, it has even protein. So you have protein overload. So it means they have got more of what they are supposed to get. They have got more proteins, but then they have not got fats like they want. They have not got starch like they want. So you are just giving them more protein, which may affect them. Yes, and now for example, if you are a person, you are not supposed to get only vitamin E. You also need vitamin D, you also need vitamin C. So when you just get vitamin D only, then you will be affected because you are not getting these other vitamins. So that is how it is. Because they may say, no, but maize is expensive, so I will put 1 kg of maize and I put 1 kg of peelings. You have just added the protein. Yes, so you are not giving them any balancing feeds, which will affect your production. For example, if you want eggs, or for example, if you want meat, you will just affect your production. You will not get what you want.
Poultry farmers face challenges like diseases, theft, fake medication, among others, which lead to the significant losses, hinder productivity, and impact profitability.
Yeah, the general problems we usually face is that, first of all, diseases. And these diseases, the medications, the drugs are very many on the market. So even farmers got confused on which to use on which disease. And even if the disease is, even if the medication is okay, but then that medication is not working on these birds. You are giving them, the medication is like for 5 days, but you have given for 5 days and the birds are not responding to the medication. So that is very challenging. Then second, the costs. The costs of the things that we use. For example, feeds. Feeds, today they are very high, the other day they are very low. So the fluctuation of the prices of the feeds also affect us. Because when you are affected by the feeds, then the buyer will not know that the feeds were very high. For him or her, he will come and wants a bird at 20,000, but when you have already invested in like 25,000, so the cost of production is very high. Yeah, even what we use in brooding, the electricity we use, the water, everything, the cost of production of these birds is very high. That is another challenge. Then another challenge is market, where to sell these birds. Not really. The market, like for example, like us, the market is there because we are selling the old chicks, and if you're selling a good breed, or if you're selling what you are sure of, then customers do come. But then I told you the fluctuation of prices, because when the feeds go high, then the clients will not come for the chicks because they don't want to be put in that trouble of buying feeds very highly. So they will leave me with the chicks. I will have nowhere to put them. That is a problem. Then second, these people that buy our birds, especially at the small scale farmers, a buyer will come and give you less of what you have put in the bud. And even farmers face a challenge of sieves. Yes, the people come to the farm, they have come to buy, but when actually they have come to take your buds for free of charge.
Despite the hindrances, poultry farmers like Kamashengelo believe with passion in what they do, a lot of experience is gained. She advises farmers to consult experts on what they don't understand.
Now, my experience, I may say that even the feeding, let it be the feeding, let it be everything, the vaccines, I may say all is going through very well. This is because we know what we are doing. Yes, we know what we are doing, and we have at least gained some more knowledge. So experience is not, according to me, it is not bad. Yes, when you have passion, when you want something, then you are easy for it. You can go for it and you can make it. So for those that are starting may not be easy, but when you have started, then everything will be okay. All farmers that would like to start farming, we are here for you. We are available for you. You can come to the farm. Even if you are unable to come to the farm, you can reach out to us, to our numbers. Let me read them for you. 0784 904071 or 0759903092. Those are my numbers. Those are my numbers. So you call me and we talk. If you want training, I can go about it. I can take you through the trainings that you want. If you want the old chicks, they are available. When we give you our birds, we do follow up. We do give you advice. We do follow up. We can come to your farm and check what is going on. We can give you we can get the experience of the brooder with you. So what I can say to the farmers, you come. The investment is profitable. Poultry farming is profitable if you go for it. The challenges are very many, but all in all, we keep in business. We keep trying.
Proper nutrition is the bedrock of efficient and sustainable poultry production, directly impacting growth, health, egg, meat quality, and profitability.